Hello LSU. This might come as a surprise, but Finebaum mentioned that LSU's Brian Kelly would have been fired if the Tigers had lost to Vanderbilt. Did you know? Before the news, subscribe to the channel to receive more LSU news. When it comes to LSU football, one name immediately comes to mind: Brian Kelly. Since his arrival in Baton Rouge, he has brought a mix of optimism and sky-high expectations, typical of a program with a rich history and a fan base that demands the best. The win against Vanderbilt in Week 13 was crucial, and not just in terms of the score. It served to keep Kelly at the helm of a program that, while full of potential, is searching for consistency amid the modern challenges of college football. Paul Finebaum, an influential voice in the sports scene, highlighted the importance that this victory had in Kelly's tenure. If the Tigers had lost, the narrative would have been different, he said. And he's not wrong. College football, especially in the competitive SEC landscape, is driven as much by on-field results as off-field decisions. It's not enough to win. You have to fuel the fan base and bring in recruits that support the team's greatness. The biggest disappointment of the week was undoubtedly losing Bryce Underwood, a five-star quarterback, to Michigan. It was a blow that many fans felt was a setback in a recruiting cycle that was supposed to symbolize the next step in the Tigers' evolution. After all, Underwood was more than just an acquisition. He represented hope, a potential pillar for LSU's future ambitions. However, to put all the pressure on Kelly for a single recruiting decision would be to ignore the bigger picture. Since his arrival, he has shown that he knows how to navigate the increasingly complex landscape of college football, where the NIL and the transfer portal have drastically changed the rules of the game. Kelly's immediate success at LSU, guiding the program to competitive seasons, proves he has the ability to build a winning team. The win over Vanderbilt was low-key but necessary. On a Saturday where all eyes were on classics like Alabama and Auburn, the Tigers' matchup flew under the radar, as Finebaum put it. But that doesn't diminish its importance. It was a survival game, and Brian Kelly did what he had to keep LSU on track, at least for another week. Looking ahead, the coach will face even greater challenges. A potential win over Oklahoma would be not only a statement of purpose, but also a turning point. With the bitter loss to Florida in Week 12 still fresh in the memory, beating a program of Oklahoma's caliber could rekindle the fans' confidence and, who knows, lure the right talent from the transfer portal to fill the roster gaps. Brian Kelly knows he's at the epicenter of a sport that doesn't forgive mediocrity. LSU is a powerful brand with history and resources, but what defines success is the ability to adapt to new dynamics. A coach needs to conquer the future as hard as he conquers the present. Bringing a talented quarterback through the portal would go a long way toward alleviating criticism and restoring excitement in Baton Rouge. While talk of coaching changes always makes headlines, it's important to remember that Kelly still has room to prove himself. The firing narrative, as Finebaum pointed out, will only gain traction if the losses pile up. Until then, the coach remains the Tigers' best bet to rebuild a powerhouse. The LSU football program has seen its ups and downs over the years, but one thing is clear: this team can never be underestimated. Kelly has the talent and resources to take the Tigers back to the top. The win against Vanderbilt may not have been brilliant, but it was enough to keep hopes alive. And when it comes to LSU, hope is always the first step to glory. What do you think? Let us know.